Welcome to the channel. Welcome to a belated Banter in the Box. Tecoglous bossing it. It's your Game Week 31 review. A few days later than planned due to man flu. Still suffering a little bit, so apologies for any coughing and spluttering during this episode. But the business end of the season, it was important to get this review out. And it's the 200th episode of Banter in the Box. If it wasn't for man flu, I might have done something a bit more special. Two managers went into the transfer market in game week 31, and those two managers were in the top four. The fight for the title is well and truly on. In this edition of Banter in the Box, we've got your game week 31 winners and losers, a quote of the week, an FFFL Cup review. The weekend before last was the semi-final replay in the FFFL Cup. I'll be revealing the results of that. And we got a manager of the season update. It was worth 12 manager of the season points. Did anyone get the who the fuck is that? All will be revealed. So, your game week 31 winners. There's two of them. Take a bow. Clockhouse Rangers manager. Great Uncle George Moody climbed 2 places to 16th. That's the highest George has been since game week 23. But the biggest game week 31 winner, take a bow for the second week running, Niall Ponsford, the big Tecoglous manager, climbed 2 places to the top of the Family Fantasy Football League. He hasn't been top since game week 23, and he secured, having been robbed cruelly of a weekly win a couple of weeks ago, he recorded a second weekly win of the season with 74 points, and he's hitting top gear at just the right time. Your game week 31 losers, hang your head in shame. Di Maloney, no happy endings manager, second week running on the losers board, down 1 place to 17th. Di has not been as low as 17th since game week 26. Hang your head in shame. Grease Lightning, defending champions, fell 2 places to 3rd. They've not been as low as 3rd since game week 23. Hang your head in shame. Anders FC manager Stephen Lee fell 1 place to 18th. You have to go back to game week 9 for the last time Stephen Lee was as low as 18th. But the biggest game week 31 loser, Rayleigh Rovers manager Simon Hoxby, on the losers board for the second week running, stayed 6th despite being the lowest scorers in game week 31 with just 15 points, hitting a terrible patch of form at just the wrong time there, bruv. Those 4 managers all losing a manager of the season point. Quote of the week this week came from none other than the big Tecoglous manager, Niall Ponsford. He sent me this message. A message to my rivals at the top. Actually loving how close the race is though. And then sent me this photo. Well, if that doesn't rile up his rivals in the race for the Family Fantasy Football League title, nothing will. But I love that kind of banter. So 1 manager of the season point for Niall. Now, as I said, not this weekend, but if I'd been doing this on time, it would have been last weekend. So it's the weekend before last, was the semi-final replay in the Family Fantasy Football League Cup between Grease Lightning and the Creed Bratton Society. It was a repeat of last year's Family Fantasy Football League Cup final, which also went to a replay. And the Creed Bratton Society narrowly won that replay to deny Grease Lightning a league and cup double. Though Grease Lightning did pip the Creed Bratton Society to the league by virtue of goals scored, of course. So it was kind of balanced out. So anyway, the score was Grease Lightning 20. The Creed Bratton Society 25. Grease Lightning just cannot get a break in the FFFL Cup. So it means that the FFFL Cup final will be be between the Creed Bratton Society, hoping to become, I think, the first manager in history to retain the Family Fantasy Football League Cup. I'll have to check that. But anyway, it will be the Creed Bratton Society's fourth final, and they've won the other three that they've appeared in. And they will be up against Chairman's Choice, who's appearing in a record eighth Family Fantasy Football League Cup final. I've won 3, lost 4. So, patchy record in the final. That final will take place the first full Premier Fixture League weekend in May. Who the fuck is that? It's been rolling over for 6 weeks. It was worth 12 manager of the season points. You had to get both managers correct to get those 12 manager of the season points. It seems everyone's given up because everyone's stopped having a guess. Well, everyone apart from one person. This week, I'm just busily checking my phone just to make sure that nobody had a guess that I missed. This week, only Mark Benwell had a guess, and he thought that it was a picture of Masters of None manager Jack Hawksby and Ostrich Bar Stewards manager Steve Maloney. Well, I can reveal that that was a correct answer, Mark. 12 manager of the season points go to you, which means it's all change in the manager of the season table. Steve Maloney loses another point. He's 17th. Di Maloney drops to 16th. She lost a point. They were both game week 31 losers. George Moody climbs to joint 13th for being a game week 31 winner. Alexi Lagos drops to joint 7th for being a game week 31 loser. Niall Ponsford goes clear 6th for being a game week 31 winner and getting a point for the quote of the week. Simon Hawksby stayed third despite being a game week 31 loser, but Mark Benwell has leapfrogged Sarah Goodwin to go 7 points clear at the top of the manager of the season table. He's won it twice before. He hasn't won it for a few years. He's desperate to get those £20 million in free tactical gambits to use next year, and there isn't long to go. A 7-point lead is a healthy one. So let's make it interesting. This is a picture of a current Family Fantasy Football League manager. And I'm going to give you 5 manager of the season points if you can tell me which manager that is. And if you get the manager correct, I'm going to give you a bonus point for telling me what body part that is. If you get the body part correct, but the manager wrong, no points. To get the 6 points, or to get the bonus point, you need to tell me the manager first. So, correctly identify which current Family Fantasy Football League manager is pictured there. That is 5 manager of the season points. And if you name the body part correctly, I'll give you 1 bonus point. And that is your Banter in the Box for this week. I'll hopefully be back on schedule on Friday for your Game Week 32 review. Until then, everybody, take care.